Welcome back to Cooking with Canines at Old Tavern Farm. I want to reintroduce myself. I've made a few videos in the last several weeks, and for all you great new people, thank you for joining me. And I'm Lee Sharon, and I am hoping I'm still the pastry chef at SUNY Poly here in upstate New York. And I'm just doing a few small short videos to help people learn some new things during this time of quietness. So today, I thought I would do biscuits. Everyone loves biscuits. Biscuits and gravy, biscuits on top of stew, chicken pot pie with biscuits on the list just goes on and on and on. We are a small farm homestead here in the Adirondack Mountains, and this time of year in May, June, July, August, September, October, pretty much all year round, we're busy. But this particular time, we're really busy because we're planting, we're harvesting, we're preserving our food, we're taking care of animals, we're getting ready for winter. Pretty much here, we just get ready for winter all year round. Even in the winter, we get ready for winter. So I like to have some things made ahead, put in the freezer, ready to go, waiting for us instead of us waiting for food. I'm a big believer in preparedness and having things ready, canned, frozen, dried, sugared, preserved, pickled, anything. Baked goods freeze really well. So without further ado, if you would like to connect with me on social media, I'm on Instagram at Old Tavern Farm. And I have a website. It's leesharon.weebly.com. My books are there. My YouTube channel link is there. All that stuff. So, biscuits. These are plain buttermilk biscuits. You can add whatever you want. But basically what I've put together here in my bowl, getting it ready for you, is 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and what am I forgetting? Oh, and 2 sticks of butter. The butter, I have just sort of an example here. It's all loaded in my bowl just to save time, but I like to just cube up my butter like this before I put it in. So 2 sticks of butter in here, and then we're gonna add 2 cups of buttermilk. So what I do is I just put it in my mixer, and I just whiz it with the paddle attachment until the butter is in very small sort of pea-like formations. Sometimes I can't access my word bank very easily because I'm getting old. Anyway, so it's just kind of coarsely cut in there. You can do it manually with steak knives. You can also do it in your food processor if you have one. So it can just be done. You can do it with your fingers if you have to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back on the mixer, and I'm going to add my buttermilk and just let it process for a minute. So bear with me while I load it back onto my machine here. It's really cold and gray today, so I thought it would be fun to just do some baking and get some things ready and put in the freezer. And we have a grandchild due, I don't know, in any minute. So I thought what I would do is just make some things ahead. I made spaghetti sauce last night. I froze that. I'm making biscuits today. So we have everything ready for when we're really busy with the brand new baby. So I'm spinning my mixture here, okay? I'm going to add in my 2 cups of buttermilk. Now, I'm going to let that spin for just a second. You can use any kind of cutter you want. You can cut them little small ones like this. These are great for little parties, little small size. These are great for kids' meals and things. This is a good one if you want to do biscuits and gravy. It's just a little smaller. It's kind of sad, really. We should just use the big cutter for everything. You can also cut them in squares. You can just take a knife and you press out your dough and you just cut it in squares. But I like this size right here, just because it's good for little biscuit sandwiches. It's good, it's, egg sandwiches, eggs on biscuits, cheese. It's just a good sort of sandwich sized biscuit. This is just my go-to cutter, so that's what I used. And I made a batch ahead, that's why they've got pieces dangling. But it's clean. It's clean. All right. So my dough is all set here. And it's a little on the wet side, which is fine. Baking is an exact science. It's also an art, and you just have to commune with your dough sometimes. Set this down. I'm just going to put this in the sink. And see, my dough is a little bit wet, and that's fine. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to add back a little bit of flour in there, and then I'm also going to sprinkle my surface with some flour, and then I'm going to get in there. Hang on, it's the back of me again. Sometimes you just have to make do. Right. This is the bowl scraper. This is a great little gadget. Mine is so old that it's splitting. So at some point I'm gonna have to get a new one. But you can make like a yogurt lid works great for this, a sour cream lid, any of those plastic container lids. In a pinch, you can use that. Now this is really sticking on me, and that's probably a good thing because I don't want you guys to give up on your baking. If something comes out not perfect, we are not perfect around here. We are just not perfect, not at all. So don't worry about it. Just make it work. It's fine. So, all right. Well, I don't know why I did that because I need more flour. So I'm just gonna dust my hands, dust my ball of dough here. Okay, now biscuits are quick breads, and they're not like yeast breads that have to be kneaded and kneaded and kneaded and kneaded to develop gluten. You're trying to limit your gluten production so that you have a tender, flaky biscuit, all right? So my rule of thumb is 15 kneads. And again, this recipe is on my website. It's it's the latest blog post posted today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turning it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Stop. Don't touch it again. I know it's tempting. Okay, then I'm just going to spread back out my flour. Some people use a rolling pin, and I have one, and it's fine to use it. It's absolutely fine. But I find that it's not really necessary to use a rolling pin on biscuits. I like to just flatten them out. About this. Now, some people make a mistake with biscuits in that they roll them out or pat them out too thin. They will rise quite a lot in the oven when you bake them. 400 degrees. 400 degrees. Mine's convection at 400 degrees. So if you have a traditional conventional oven, you might want to do 425. It just needs to be hot. But if you roll them out or pat them out too thin, they have trouble getting that lift in the oven. So, but again, they'll still be good. But about like this. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, all right? So then I'm gonna take my cutter, and when you're cutting biscuits, to get a nice rise, just go straight down. Don't be twisting or screwing it or slanting. You want even sides so that the side of the biscuit can rise evenly. So about like that. That's what you're looking for. So try to get it as even as possible. We're not getting a grade here. We're not in school. We're just making food for our families. So that's just a little trick. If you just go straight down with your cutter and now I go as close to each one as I can, and then I'll show you a little trick because biscuit dough, as frugal as I am, I use everything. I take the rubber bands off my produce when I bring it home from the co-op. Wash the rubber bands and put them in a little container. Who does that? My mom. She used to wash out the bread bags. And I do that too. So, I mean, why not, why not use them? They're right there. So, yeah, Queen of Frugal. Let me get my pan. It's all prepared over here. So, here's my pan. I have it prepared with, I've already done one batch so I could show you. Prepared, but you can use it again. Parchment is so useful. You can reuse it. I've baked on it and flipped it over and reused it again. So, super versatile product there. And so what you're going to do now, you can place these as close together as you like, because now when you bake them, you should place them very close actually. But what we're doing here, and the business is called IQF, or individually quick frozen. And in our culinary business, we do that with lots of stuff. We do that with berries, vegetables, chicken wings, meat. I mean, everything has to be quick frozen when you're doing large scale feeding. So that's what you're going to do here. You're just going to place them on a sheet pan like this, and you're going to just put this right into your freezer for a couple of hours and let them freeze, and then you're going to bag them up. But let me show you what I do with these scraps. I just basically, because these aren't good when they are reworked, because that gluten gets tough, and that means your biscuit's going to be tough. I just take and just tuck them in, roll them around like this, and then sort of make myself a new biscuit. So I'm going to just roll the scraps together and sort of make, I've got one piece here that's larger than the other. So I'm going to go on this side and cut here. So I'm just going to, and then this is going to be Raggedy Ann biscuit, but nobody cares. It's going to be good. I'm telling you, they're delicious. This is the best recipe ever. I've used it for years. All right, so I'm going to take this bunch of dough and I'm going to just curl it around like so. Don't waste anything. It's perfectly edible. People will love it. Maybe not so great for a sandwich if you want to split it in half and put something on there. But these are great for just for eating, or just biscuits and gravy where you're going to break it apart. And then I also keep these scraps for just nibbling on biscuits and gravy. I give them to the chickens. Nothing goes to waste around here. Nothing. So then you're just going to slide this right into your freezer. And I'm going to set this aside as though my freezer were over here, but it's not. I just want to wrap up and show you my bag of buttermilk biscuits. They're quick frozen. They're in a bag. I've labeled them. I'm getting them all dirty with my crummy hands here. But I just put the date and the title, what's in here. They're just plain buttermilk biscuits. And then if we have company in the morning, or I want to top a chicken pot pie or something like that, I just reach in there and I just grab out what I need. They're ready to go. Dough freezes beautifully and it bakes from frozen beautifully. There's no need to thaw these out. Just pop them right into your oven at 400 degrees and bake them right off. So I think I get, let's see, how many do I have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About a dozen, give or take. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, more than a dozen actually. So at this point now I have 2 dozen good-sized biscuits that are going to feed my family and feed anybody else who stops by. And, well, nobody's really stopped by in weeks, actually. Close maybe to the sidewalk or something like that, but I feel like I've been alone except for my husband and my very pregnant daughter and her husband. I think those are about the only, and then the farrier for the horses and the vet. The vet comes out too. But anyway, thanks again. Be prepared. Stock your freezer, because all this business is going to end and we are going to be busy once again. So be ready. Be ready. Be prepared. Have your biscuits. Have your freezer stocked and be ready to roll. So once again, thank you for coming to visit me. Virtual hug, 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 hug. Bye-bye.